Well, the time has come. I'm excited about this conversation today, and we both have no idea where it's going to go. Vinki, welcome to the show. How does it feel to be Vinki today?
Well, wonderful, and thank you for having me on your show.
I'm excited to jump into this conversation with you and relate your journey to the journey that a lot of our listeners are going to have, because a lot of our listeners are medical professionals, physicians, which you have a close relation to. You're not a physician yourself, but tell us, Vinki, a little bit about your professional career up to this point.
So you already said my name is Vinki Loomba, and I'm a founder and CEO of a Loomba Investment Group. That's my investment company. My journey in real estate started alongside my long career in IT and academia, actually. Originally, I'm from India, so I don't want it to go way back. I don't want it to start from here, that I am immigrant over here. I came here a long time back, about 30 years back, and I landed into the IT field because my husband was an IT professional. So he asked me to join the clan. I'm like, okay, fine. But my original plan was to become a professor. And because I had masters from India, actually I had MPhil, that's a shorter form of PhD. And but I joined the clan, I got into the IT and started climbing the corporate ladder. And during that time, by default, we became the landlords because we bought our second home or built our second home. We rented the first one and we learned about the passive income. So then we started multiplying that, and I also got my California realtor license because I thought that could be my weekend job, you know. I can make some money there on the side, but I never wanted to sell homes, or I didn't enjoy selling homes. So I got into the retail side of it, like businesses. And my husband and myself, we started investing in the retail as well then. So that was a good journey. But at the same time, you know, I got an opportunity to complete my executive MBA, and I got a chance to teach. So guess what? My dream of becoming a professor got completed there. So I was our adjunct professor for 10, 12 years at California State University, teaching the MBA program, which I enjoyed that. But fast forward, when I separated from my corporate job a few years back, about 8 years back, I landed back into real estate with a different focus, different purpose. So now I do the multifamily syndications. Your why has to be really, really strong in whatever you wanted to do in your life. So my why was really strong. And the other thing was your what has to be really clear, like what you want. So these two things kind of drive you where you want it to be in your life. So when I separated from my corporate job, at that time, I was supporting multiple charities or nonprofit organizations that's geared towards women and children. So I love to do this nonprofit work because I just felt like life has given me so much. It's my time to give back, to connect with people at a different level. So even if I can make this much change in one person's life, my job is done. So I've been doing that, and when I separated from my company, all of a sudden I realized first that I'm not gonna do anything. I'm gonna call myself retired because I took the early retirement. But then I was thinking, how do I fund my projects? So that was the driving factor right there. Like I said, my why was strong, and that's what made me explore, what should I do? How should I make money? How should I invest enough money that I have enough cash flow to support my nonprofit efforts that I'm doing? So then I learned about syndication. So when I learned about syndication, and it's like, oh my God, I can just pull the money with others and get this solid returns back. There could not be anything better than this. And initially I started as a passive investor. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say that again. So initially I started as a passive investor because I had the bandwidth. So, and I wanted to learn the process. I'm kind of a person who is kind of hands-on. So I like to learn by doing it myself, not just by reading a book. So when I was investing passively with other operators, I very quickly got a chance to co-GP, GP is a general partner, to to become a partner with other operators and run the deals together side by side with them. And that was a really good learning process for me. And I love to share that knowledge with my, I would say, network, the other investors that I work with, because I'm still feel like I am educating day in, day out, because I'm sharing the knowledge with people. The knowledge we do not learn in school or college, because we just go through the books, and all of a sudden when we go out in the real world, there's a total disconnect. And that's the reason when I was teaching, I used to bring the doormat projects from the other companies, through my friends' companies, live into the classroom, so people can, or the students can just solve the problems and get to work the real projects. And it was kind of a win-win scenario, both for the company as well as for the students, because they get to learn the projects, live projects, even their doormat, and they get to learn how to figure out the answers, or figure out the solutions for a problem. And at the same time, company has multiple solutions. Life is a challenge, because the way we process our thoughts, or the number of thoughts that we deal with, because we think we just a thought, right? And we just following that or chasing that all our life. And then we just see this challenge or that challenge. But if you look at it, I mean, that's what I'm talking from my experience. I have learned over the years that every challenge is actually an opportunity. It's just like your perspective, It's like shifting your perspective. All of a sudden, you're gonna see all the opportunities around you versus looking things as a challenge or a roadblock. So the first challenge I took in my life, you can say as a challenge, leaving my country, leaving all my friends, leaving my family, coming to United States at the age 21. Wow. Not knowing where I'm going, what I'm trying to do, no vision, no nothing. So that was the biggest leap of faith, you can call it. You can call it a challenge, but for me, it was an opportunity. I was thinking about it, oh my God, it's a big opportunity. I'm gonna go to United States and I'm gonna become a professor, a top-notch professor, because I have an MPhil from India. I was studying for PhD, and I came here in UC Berkeley. I got enrolled as a PhD candidate under a very renowned professor. But guess what? Like, life throws challenges at you. Again, those are opportunities. So there was something really sweet in store for me. I became mom. So we started our family, right? So there goes my PhD. My husband says, oh, it's gonna take 5 more years. Why don't you try the business side of it for a little bit if you want it to work? So that's how I started my first job in the corporate world. Then I started climbing the corporate ladder from there. And I just felt like our life was giving me opportunities one after another. So like I said, it's just your perspective, the way you look at things. If you think these are all opportunities, you're gonna keep on climbing the ladder. And if you think these are the challenges, you just might stop or just might fall over and over again. So, and then, after 20 years of my service, I separated from my company because my position was eliminated. And that was again, all of a sudden, right, a challenge. Oh my God, you don't have a job from tomorrow, or your position is eliminated. Now what? And I'm like, I took that as an opportunity too. I'm like, there might be something better for me. So I became an entrepreneur. Super happy
with
about
the experience.
That, the whole thing. Yeah.
I literally have it on my board. Perspective is the obstacle. The obstacle is the way. There's a book by Ryan Holiday called The Obstacle is the Way. Have you read that?
Yes, I'm familiar with that book.
Yes. So that's that idea of, man, that perspective is so important, and how we see things is so important. And so many times when we're hung up on this thing that just you think is a wall could literally be a hurdle on your way to something bigger. So it's all about the way that we see things and our response as opposed to our reaction. Being able to, have this optimism and this perspective of abundance. I mean, it's just so beautiful. So many of those things are so beautiful, but it's not easy. the idea is simple, but it's not easy to make sure that you're doing this day in, day out. Starting with every thought that you have, coming back to that, hey, this is creating this emotion, and then turning those into action. And sometimes our bodies it happens faster than we can even imagine. So we have to self-reflect and make sure, okay, how could I have done this differently? What was my perspective here? Was I seeing this as a problem? And really just give situations, treat them as autopsies when we have the ability to, so we can self-reflect and always get better, reaching for this point of giving back, because there is so much. In my hand, if I close my hand, there's not going to be any sand in it.